Flaws to Superpowers, Unleashing Your Authentic Self. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast. Today, we're embarking on a journey that will challenge your perceptions, ignite your passion, and potentially change the course of your life. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Jeannette Soria, a woman whose story of resilience, self-discovery, and unapologetic authenticity has left an indelible mark on my soul. Jeannette's impact on making the world a better place isn't just impressive, it's revolutionary. Her insights aren't just valuable, they're transformative. And I'm thrilled to share with you the wisdom I've gleaned from our conversation. Imagine for a moment that you're living someone else's life. You wake up each morning, put on a mask, and step out into a world that expects you to be, well, not you. Sound familiar? It's exhausting, isn't it? Always performing, always falling short, always feeling like an imposter in your own skin. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking your true potential, your genuine happiness, and your ultimate success lies in embracing the very things you've been desperately trying to hide? Let's start with a provocative question that might make you squirm in your seat. What if your flaws are actually your superpowers? Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, that's just some feel-good nonsense, right? Wrong. This isn't just a catchy phrase to slap on a motivational poster. It's a fundamental truth that Jeannette Soria has lived, breathed, and proven. Her story is a testament to the raw power of authenticity and the earth-shattering courage it takes to be truly seen. Jeannette's journey began like many of ours, trapped in a suffocating cycle of trying to be everything to everyone. The perfect wife, the ideal girlfriend, the flawless mother, the impeccable coworker. It's a familiar dance, isn't it? We twist ourselves into pretzels, contorting our true selves to fit into boxes that were never meant for us. And for what? A pat on the back? A nod of approval? The fleeting satisfaction of meeting someone else's expectations? But here's where Jeannette's story takes a turn that we can all learn from. In a moment of utter despair, when the weight of these expectations became too much to bear, she made a choice that would alter the course of her life forever. She decided to get to know herself, not the polished, presentable version that she showed to the world, not the carefully curated image she maintained on social media. No, Jeannette chose to dive deep into the messy, complicated, beautifully flawed human being she truly was. Now, I can practically hear your thoughts right now. That sounds terrifying. And you're absolutely right. It is terrifying. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, looking down into the unknown. But as Jeannette discovered, and as I'm challenging you to consider, it's also the most liberating thing you can do for yourself. Let's break this down, shall we? We're often told to focus on our strengths, to minimize our weaknesses, to put our best foot forward. It's advice that's been drilled into us since childhood. But what if that well-meaning advice is actually holding us back? What if by trying to hide our flaws, we're dimming our light so much that we can barely see ourselves anymore? Jeannette's experience teaches us a profound lesson. Acknowledging our flaws isn't about wallowing in self-pity or giving up on self-improvement. It's about radical self-acceptance. It's about looking in the mirror, really looking, and saying, yes, this is me, all of me, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and I am worthy of love, success, and happiness just as I am. But here's the kicker. And this is where Jeannette's wisdom really shines. Acknowledging your flaws doesn't mean accepting defeat. It doesn't mean throwing your hands up and saying, well, I guess this is just who I am. No, it means understanding yourself deeply enough to know when those flaws are holding you back from the life you want to live and when they're actually the key to unlocking your unique potential. Imagine you're building a house. You wouldn't ignore a crack in the foundation, would you? Of course not. You'd address it head on. You'd examine it, understand its cause, and find a way to work with it or around it. The same principle applies to our personal growth. By acknowledging our flaws, we give ourselves the power to work with them, around them, or through them. Jeannette's journey wasn't just about self-discovery, it was about self-creation. She realized that once you know who you are, truly, deeply know yourself, you have the power to become who you want to be. Not by changing your core self, but by nurturing the unique qualities that make you, well, you. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. These fears can paralyze us, keep us small, silent, and stuck. But Jeannette's story teaches us a powerful lesson. Persistence in the face of fear is the key to unlocking our potential. Think about it. How many times have you held back from voicing your opinion because you were afraid of criticism? How often have you stayed in a situation that wasn't serving you because you feared the unknown? Jeannette faced these same fears, but she made a crucial decision. She decided to speak up, to be heard, to make her presence known. This isn't about being loud for the sake of being loud. It's not about dominating every conversation or bulldozing over others' opinions. It's about honoring your truth, even when your voice shakes. It's about recognizing that your thoughts, your emotions, your opinions, they matter. They're valid, and they deserve to be expressed. But here's the part that really struck me in my conversation with Jeannette. She emphasized that speaking your truth isn't always about being understood or validated by others. Sometimes it's simply about being true to yourself. Imagine you're in a relationship, a job, or a friendship that's draining you. Something's not right, but you've been silent, hoping things will magically improve. Jeanette's advice? Speak up, not with the expectation that the other person will immediately understand or change, but with the knowledge that you're honoring yourself by giving voice to your needs and concerns. Now, this is where it gets tricky. When you start speaking your truth, not everyone will like it. Some people might get defensive. Others might try to gaslight you, to make you doubt your own experiences and feelings. Jeannette warns us to be prepared for this. But she also reminds us that their reaction doesn't invalidate your truth. Here's a powerful mantra Jeannette shared. I did what I could. Now it's time to move on. This isn't about giving up. It's about recognizing when you've done your part and understanding that you can't control how others respond. It's about making decisions that serve your highest good without doubt or regret. But let's be real for a moment. This journey of self-discovery and self-expression isn't always smooth sailing. Jeannette's path was filled with obstacles, particularly when it came to building her business. Imagine knocking on doors day after day only to be turned away because of your credit history. Many would have given up, but not Jeannette. She chose persistence over perfection. She understood that each no was bringing her closer to a yes. She realized that rejection wasn't a reflection of her worth, but an opportunity to learn, to grow, to refine her approach. This persistence, this refusal to give up, is not just about business success. It's a life philosophy. Whether you're trying to build a career, improve a relationship, or simply become a better version of yourself, persistence is the secret sauce. But here's the thing about persistence. It's not about blindly pushing forward. It's not about banging your head against the same wall over and over again. It's about smart persistence. It's about learning from each setback, adapting your approach, and trying again with new knowledge and insights. Jeanette's journey teaches us that true persistence comes from a place of self-knowledge and self-acceptance. When you know who you are, when you've embraced your flaws and recognized your strengths, you have an unshakable foundation. Rejection can't destroy you because your sense of self doesn't depend on external validation. Now let's talk about passion. Jeanette's story is a masterclass in following your passions, even when they don't seem to fit together. On one hand, she's a dedicated patient care technician, pouring her heart into caring for others. On the other, she's a skilled hairstylist with dreams of blending these seemingly disparate worlds. Many would say, pick one, focus. But Jeannette teaches us that our diverse passions are what make us unique. They're not distractions. They're the very essence of who we are. By embracing all parts of herself, Jeannette is creating a path that's uniquely hers. This is a powerful lesson for all of us. In a world that often pushes for specialization, Jeannette reminds us that it's okay to be multi-passionate. It's okay to have dreams that don't fit neatly into one category. In fact, it's these unique combinations of skills and passions that often lead to the most innovative and fulfilling careers. But pursuing multiple passions isn't always easy. It requires balance, time management, and yes, persistence. Jeanette's approach? Embrace the challenge. See it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become more versatile and resilient. Now, I want to circle back to something crucial, the power of acknowledging your struggles. Jeanette's openness about her challenges, her willingness to be vulnerable, is incredibly powerful. It's easy to look at successful people and think they have it all figured out. But the truth is, we're all fighting battles. We're all overcoming obstacles. By sharing her struggles, Jeannette not only humanizes success, but also provides a roadmap for others. She shows us that it's okay to not have all the answers, to be a work in progress. In fact, it's more than okay. It's beautiful. It's real. It's human. This brings us to a critical point. the importance of community and connection. Jeannette's story isn't just about individual growth. It's about the power of sharing our journeys with others. By opening up about her experiences, she creates space for others to do the same. She reminds us that we're not alone in our struggles, our doubts, our fears. Imagine a world where we all felt free to be this authentic, this open, a world where we could share our vulnerabilities without fear of judgment. That's the kind of world Jeannette is working to create, one conversation at a time. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge inspired by Jeannette's journey. Take a moment right now to reflect on the parts of yourself you've been hiding, those quirks, those flaws, those passions you've been afraid to pursue. I want you to make a commitment to yourself to embrace one of these aspects fully in the coming week. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting when you usually stay silent. Perhaps it's pursuing that hobby you've always been interested in, but thought was too silly. Or it could be having that difficult conversation you've been putting off. Whatever it is, approach it with Jeannette's spirit of persistence, self-acceptance, and courage. Remember, your uniqueness is your strength. Your flaws are part of your story. Your voice deserves to be heard. As Jeannette's story shows us, the path to success and fulfillment isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more fully yourself. It's about acknowledging who you are, embracing your uniqueness, and navigating through life with intention and purpose. So, I leave you with this question. What would your life look like if you dared to be unapologetically, authentically you? What heights could you reach if you pursued your passions with the same persistence and courage as Jeannette? The journey of self-discovery and self-expression is ongoing. It's not always easy, but as Jeannette Soria has shown us, it's infinitely rewarding. So let's take a page from her book. Let's be brave enough to look inward, resilient enough to face our fears, and persistent enough to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. Remember, your story is still being written. Your potential is limitless. And just like Jeannette, you have the power to transform your struggles into strengths, your fears into fuel for growth. Now, I want you to take a deep breath. Feel the weight of expectations, of societal norms, of self-doubt lifting off your shoulders. Because from this moment on, you have a choice. You can continue living a life dictated by others' expectations, or you can embark on the thrilling, challenging, utterly rewarding journey of becoming your authentic self. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and instead of putting on a mask, you look in the mirror and truly see yourself. You acknowledge your flaws, not as weaknesses, but as unique aspects of your character that make you who you are. You embrace your quirks, your passions, your dreams, no matter how unconventional they might seem. What would that feel like? Liberating, terrifying, exhilarating, probably all of the above. But here's the thing, that feeling, that mix of fear and excitement, that's where growth happens. That's where innovation is born. That's where you find your true power. So here's my challenge to you. For the next week, I want you to be radically honest with yourself and with others. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Pursue that passion you've been putting off. Have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. And most importantly, embrace those parts of yourself that you've been trying to hide. Document your journey. Write it down, record voice notes, share it with a trusted friend. Notice how it feels to live authentically, even if just for a week. I promise you, it will be transformative. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Reach out to others. Share your story. Create a community of authenticity around you. Because when we all start living our truths, we create a world where everyone feels free to be themselves. As we wrap up, I want you to remember this. Your flaws are not weaknesses to be hidden. They are the very things that make you unique, powerful, and irreplaceable. They are your superpowers in disguise. It's time to rip off that mask, step into the light, and show the world who you truly are. The world doesn't need another cookie cutter success story. It needs you and all your messy, complicated, beautiful authenticity. So go out there and be unapologetically, unequivocally you. Because that's when you'll not only change your own life, but you'll change the world. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery, and authenticity. Now go forth, embrace your flaws, unleash your superpowers, and show the world what you're truly capable of. The stage is yours. It's time to shine.